What is happening, YouTube? Cowboy here, and today we are taking a look at the late High King of Stormwind, the first multi-class hero to enter the Nexus, and that is Varian. Now, Varian can be built as either an assassin or a tank, and when it comes to assassins, man, he does some work. Look at this. Look at Thrall. He's like, shit, dead.
Entertaining.
So to go through his basic abilities, whatnot, we have Lion's Fang, creates a shockwave, applies a snare, great for catching heroes that are running, great for kind of hunting down people. We have Parry. When you pop this, any basic attacks that come at you will be countered for 1.25 seconds. We have Charge. We're going to charge the enemy, slowing them by 75% for 1 second. Very powerful initiation tool. Get up and stop them. And then we have our heroic choice, which will give us one of three things: either the ability to tank, the ability to initiate and smash, or dual wield attack super speed greatness, which is what you're seeing right now. So to reset our talents real fast, there's three main builds with Varian. I'm going to go into the build that I would suggest that's best, and then from there I'll also discuss the other builds. Now, the three main builds I'm talking about are a tank build, an initiator build, and a dual wield build. For dual wield, obviously Twin Blades of Fury is going to be your main choice here. This is the heavy DPS build. It does insane damage on the target dummy. With the quest finished, I was hitting around 834 damage per second, just auto attacking, so like really shredding, and that's like without abilities. That's just him beating on stuff. Colossal Smash, this is for kind of our initiator burst setup. It can do a little bit under 2,000 damage in under a second of single burst, so quite powerful, but you know, that does come with cooldowns. And then Taunt, and that's for more our tanking setup. You know, it forces the hero to attack us for 1.25 seconds, basically locking somebody down. So really nice for those annoying heroes in team fights who you want to lock down and kill. And you'll also notice each heroic comes with a passive that kind of cements us in that playstyle. With Taunt, we get more health, but attack speed reduction. With Colossal Smash, we get hefty attack damage, but a little bit less health. And with Twin Blades of Fury, we lose a little bit of attack damage, but our attack speed doubles. So from what I've played so far, I'm a really big fan of a Twin Fury auto attack build. And to do that, you're going to go High King's Quest, Warbringer, Second Wind, Twin Blades of Fury, Banner of Ironforge, Juggernaut, and then Frenzy. So now we're just going to go more in-depth into the talents, kind of explain what we picked and why, talk about how it's applicable to other builds, and then really just, you know, wrap things up. I'm going to try to keep this nice and short for you guys. So level 1, High King's Quest. This is going to be the standard if you're going auto attack. There's 3 quests here. Each of these quests gives us 10 attack damage. After getting all 3 done, we get another 30. Now, right now we're at level 20. I don't think we have any of those quests done yet. No, we don't. So just to see what our basic attack damage is at, look at that. We're hitting for 130. 130 attack damage right now. We could add 60 attack damage onto that. That's huge. That's an almost 50% increase in our damage potential for completing High King's Quest. That being said, if you're going for a Colossal Smash build, Lion's Maul will just give you a little bit more upfront burst to go along with your damage when you're popping that vulnerable. Obviously, if you're going a tank, Overpower. Moving on from here, if you're going a tank, Shield Wall, kind of the standard choice. Otherwise, Warbringer. Love Warbringer. It's going to make our charge go down to 6-second cooldown versus 16, and on top of that, it'll stun a target instead of slowing them, allowing us to get in and just really kind of tear them apart as you're watching us do right now. And that's the thing about Varian. When you add in like a 6-second stun that charges and stuns, that's insane mobility. So both DPS specs pick this. Tanky picks Shield Wall. Now this is our sustain tier. If you're going for tank, obviously live by the sword, make your parry last longer, and on top of that, have blocking reduce the cooldown. If you're going for dual wield, Second Wind, every basic attack we do, we will heal for 1%. On top of that, below 50%, we heal for 50% of our damage. And this is kind of some insane sustain. You know, we could be, like, we'll get really low. We'll just hang out here, not even attacking, and see how low we get. Stop. I'm just going to run around so they just attack me. I just want to kill Thrall. I can't help myself. Look at that. Look at that. He thought he was going to do something. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of healing. Like, we're going to get really low, and then we're going to fight Thrall when he comes back out, along with all the minions, and you'll get to see just how much healing it can do. Look at this. And on top of that, we have the epic Stormwind music playing because we put that banner out. How sick is that? If you're going for the Colossal Smash build, I would suggest going for Victory Rush just because you don't really have that attack speed, so you won't see as much from second wind. Same thing for the tank build. Victory Rush, though, really nice lane sustain. You know, at level 21, we're getting 900 health, so it's basically 25% of our health. And, you know, even though it's every 60 seconds, 15 when a minion is killed, so you come into lane and kill 4 minions, boom, that's a quarter of your health back. Obviously, as I mentioned here, it depends if you want to be an initiator, a straight DPS, or a tank. Onto our banner tier. Now, the banner tier, we get a little bit more freedom. Personally, I really like Banner of Ironforge just because 25% resistant is really, really powerful. You know, that's reducing the damage your whole team is going to take, and especially as like a DPS, it's getting in the fray, hunting people down. That's huge. Movement speed, if your team needs it, it's worthwhile. We personally don't. We get 30% every time we do a basic attack. Banner of Dalaran, if you have mages on your team, great choice. If we're doing the Colossal Smash build, this can also boost our damage up quite a bit with that, so something to consider. Moving on from there, Tier 16 is our first real situational tier. Now, against teams that have a ton of healing, Mortal Strike is going to be fantastic with either the dual wield build or with the Colossal Smash build. As fast as we're applying Heroic Strike here, we'll basically have 100% uptime on Mortal Strike. And 40% healing reduction is nothing to scoff at. So really powerful, especially against like really strong healers like Morales. If you're against heavy shields, you know, we're talking Tassadar, Artanis, Shattering Throw can be devastating. For twofold here. As you can see, we're dealing a massive amount of damage to a shield. Basically, that's enough to take any shield off. Doesn't matter. That will destroy a shield. Any shield. And on top of that, our basic attacks will do damage to shields too. So with that, we're able to absolutely chew through targets that frequently get shields. So if you want a hard counter on Artanis and make him hate life, get Shattering Throw. That being said, I really like Juggernaut. It's not a bad move. If you don't have to counter shields and you don't have massive amounts of healing to counter, Juggernaut's a great choice. I mean, 6% of a hero is a maximum health on a 6-second cooldown. You know, especially since we have our movement speed, that just gives us a lot of chase and kill secure potential. Moving on to Tier 20, this is when things get a little bit more situational again. If you're a tank, I think Vigilance is the clear choice here. You know, every time you're hit by a basic attack, your cooldown is going to come down by a second. If you went for Twin Blades of Fury, I love Frenzy. An extra 15% attack speed and 10% movement speed, that's nice, you know. That lets us tear through Thrall how we are right now. The upgraded Colossal Smash, I don't really agree with. I mean, except for very niche times where you're going to be able to see that AoE. You know, I don't know if I can get behind that. But it does have 10% off, or 10 seconds off the cooldown, so that'll allow you to line up your burst with Lion Fang on a 10-second interval, so that could be really nice. But just keep in mind that you should be picking this up for the cooldown reduction, not necessarily for the AoE potential, since that's going to be very hit or miss. Look at this. I'm not even touching anything, and look at Thrall. He's just getting his ass beat. My character doesn't even do anything, and he just beats him. As for other choice here, Glory to the Alliance, really nice move all around, especially if you have a team that has like AoE healing. You know, this is going to increase the healing received by 50%, and on top of that, it's going to reduce the banner that you have by 20 seconds. So if you have something like a Brightwing, you know, on a 25-second cooldown, you're increasing healing by 50%, and on top of that, you're reducing damage taken by 25%. That's an immense amount of healing, like a silly amount of healing. And resistance. So very strong synergy here with Glory of the Alliance, making it a fantastic choice in almost any time, especially if you go for Banner of Ironforge. Stormwind, can't really agree with. I don't really think that movement speed's ever going to really be needed. I mean, yeah, it does give you a team movement speed enhancement, but 25% isn't that much. You know, that's less than most snares. So like very minor kill secure with that. I don't feel that it's worth it. Whereas the damage resistance and 12 seconds of it at that's just huge. People can attack the banner, something to keep in mind though. But either way, you know, it could be really nice with Glory of the Alliance, especially reduce that cooldown. Our last choice here is Demoralizing Shout. Also some potential synergy between that and Banner of Ironforge. You know, reduce the damage we take by 25%, reduce the damage they deal by 25%. So some obvious kind of cross synergy there. Just, you know, that's 50% reduction when you think about it. But I do feel it's all very situational, whereas something like Frenzy or Vigilance are just good picks regardless of the situation. So either way, guys, that is the Varian build. He's a fantastic hero. I really can't stress that enough. Instead of doing a separate like hero guide for him, I'm just going to have a bunch of different matches because there are 3 different specs. So the first one that's up was a game with me and Rawvox where I did an auto attack spec. Be sure to check it out. He ended up randoming into a Morales, so I basically kind of just went Super Saiyan and crapped on everybody. But that's kind of what Varian does when he has Stim Pack applied. So anyway, thanks for coming on by. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the guide. Highly suggest picking this hero up. He is fantastic, and the fact that you get an assassin and a tank at the price point makes him wonderful. So with that being said, we will catch you guys next time in the Nexus.